Well, back at it again. So I've been working on that room, as you know. I want to make some trim today. The base trim that goes along the floor there. I've already got the machine set up with the jig to make that. So it's, if you're not making a pretty good amount of trim, it's not worth having to change it up and set it up for a different batch. So I took the easy way out on the casement trim. I just purchased trim that was already made. It's quite expensive to do it that way. If I was making a bunch, I would take the time to make it myself because I have the tools to do it, but it's just not worth it. Let me show you how hot it is here. So it is a nice sunny day out here. So the side of the garage here is 141 degrees. The ground, or the grass here, it's not much cooler. You can see it is nice and dry too. Depends on what spot. Some of it's 142. Right here where the soil is open, 154. Over here where it's just straight soil, it's 173. Yeah, it's hot today. It's not exactly pleasant inside this garage either. I've got a ridge vent up here at the top, up there, but it does not have the airflow that you would like. So there's no conditioning in here. It's just whatever temperature it is. So I'm gonna have to drag my machine out and get it set up. That's the other problem, is I'm very limited on space in this little garage. I don't have room to hardly use any of the tools that I have. So this is my planer molder right here. I'm going to have to move all this stuff and then drag it this direction so I'll have room to feed it. I've got a chip collector right here. You see the bag back there for it. I need to move this diesel tank so I can put my trash can here to collect the chips off of it. I'm going to run these 1x4s right here. This is what I'm going to use for the base trim. This is the casement trim. I'm going to use that up at the top where the ceiling meets the wall. It's not really crown molding. It's just going to be a trim up there. So it'll be on the wall only. And I'll run all this other stuff. And then I've got around the windows, casement trim here, and then the walls in the corners, because it's going to crack over time. I've got this cove trim for the corner, just square it off. I can't, like I said, I have all the bits to make this stuff, but it's just not worth it for the few pieces that I need. So I'm gonna run a little test piece through it. I made the base trim probably, man, it's probably been 4 years ago. I haven't used this thing. So let me show you what all of them got here. So this is the trash can. The suction coming from the planer molder goes in here, and this catches the large wood chips. And it comes out of the trash can right here, this Y, it's drawn in, and this catches the fine dust out of it. And there's our planer molder. Like I said, I'll run a little test piece through there. We'll see how it looks, and if it looks good, I'll run these other 4 pieces here, which I cut down to 12 foot because I don't need a piece longer than that. These were 1x4 by 14 foot. Let's get started. Yeah, I think that'll work. This bit that I'm using for this is actually crown molding bit. I've just offset it where it doesn't use the entirety of it, which came out to this pattern here. The flat side, this little portion here, will be on the bottom. And this other top, I'm probably going to run a round over on it to make it a little easier to clean, so it don't collect dust as bad. I'm going to tighten it up so it digs in just a little bit more. You can kind of see the groove right there, and some spots you can't. So I'm going to make one more pass, in a little tighter on it. Well, that's it for making base trim. I'll show you the chips that were accumulated from making those 4 pieces. There's our trash can that catches the big chips. So it makes a real nice bedding if you had a gerbil or something like that, a hamster. Also goes good in the compost. It really doesn't, you have to do a whole bunch of it before you get any hardly accumulation in this bag of the real fine stuff. This is more like sawdust size stuff. And it made a mess. You see there's wood chips all over the floor now. I guess I'll be cleaning this up. I got this little portable planer here. I'm going to pull that out. I need to run that windowsill that I made through it to make it nice and smooth. And then I'm going to get the round over bit and run it down the windowsill. Well, I think I'm gonna call it a day. Got most of the trim up in the room. I still have the corners, like this corner right here, to do. But I need to texture it first before I do that, because I don't know how long to cut it without the base, and I can't put the base in until the floor is in. But I don't want to put the floor in until it's textured, so you see everything works that way. So those are rubber marks from the hammer if you didn't see that part. Put the trim all the way around. Got the window casement trim as well. Window sill. Nothing fancy, but looks a lot cleaner with that in there. These cuts were some odd angles. This one was a 15-degree cut on both sides. The one over there, the one right there in that corner was a 30-degree. Took me a little while to figure out what it was. I've got an angle finder somewhere around here. It's in that mess of a garage of mine though, and I didn't feel like digging for it. Well, I'll see you on the next one.